Hi everybody, welcome back to the start of another reading vlog. I'm so excited for this one. I have never done this before and I'm so stoked. So the GoodReads Choice Awards just happened for 2024, and as I was looking through each category, there were books in just about every category that I want to read and that are on my TBR and are books that I've been really interested in. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna pick 4 different categories. I'm gonna pick a book from each of those categories that I have been wanting to read, and we're gonna read them for this vlog. So I have a book here from the literary fiction, or just the general fiction category. I have, of course, a book from the horror category, duh, from the YA category, and the romance category. I thought it'd be fun to read 4 books from 4 different categories, and we'll see what happens because, spoiler alert, I've already read 3 and I'm rating them highly, so we'll see what happens. So let's jump on into the first category. Alright, so we're gonna kick this vlog off by reading, shockingly, the literary fiction pick first. I feel like I would have went more horror route, and granted I typically am more of a horror reader, but I'm in such a mood for something just quirky and fun and easy, and just I don't have to think and I don't have to be scared, and it's just a no-brainer. So I'm gonna be reading I Hope This Finds You Well. This is by Natalie Sue, and this is a debut novel. Now, I haven't heard anyone talk about this book, which is so shocking to me. I actually learned about this book maybe a couple of months before its release date, and I read the premise and I was like, oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. It came out, I didn't think anything of it. I was expecting more people to talk about it, and then I would have kind of picked it up based on some booktubers' thoughts, because obviously I base my opinions, and not my opinions, but my book purchases typically around what my favorite booktubers are reading, and nobody talked about it. But this one definitely still stuck in my head, and when I saw that it was on the GoodReads Choice Awards for literary fiction, I was like, oh, okay, so obviously it's a good book, but I'm really intrigued. It's quoted in the back by El Casimano and Ashley Poston and Jesse Q. Sutanto, and I love all of those authors, so I think it's going to be a good time. As far as my understanding of this synopsis, it's about Jolene, and she works in an office space, and I think and then I'm pretty sure what she does is in her emails, she types a regular email to her coworkers or whomever, and then at the bottom rants about them, but then puts it in clear text and still sends the email, which I don't know why you would do that, but she does it. And I'm almost positive the premise then is one day she gets caught, and I don't know where it goes from there. Oh, it says when an IT mix-up grants her access to her entire department's private emails and DMs, she knows she should report it, but who could resist reading what their coworkers are really saying? Honestly, it just sounds like a fun little corporate literary fiction novel. It's rather short, and I just am in the mood for it. I don't know, it's so odd to be I'm in the mood for literary fiction, because that's just not something I would expect myself to say. But I'm in the mood for it, so we're gonna read I Hope This Finds You Well. Alrighty, so I'm here to update you on I Hope This Finds You Well by Natalie Sue. I take these off when I read them. It's a pain in the butt. I am almost done, okay? I'm 70% of the way through this book, and I'm sorry I haven't updated you, but I'm loving this. So I'm I was sitting here and I was gonna tell you guys, I was oh, it's giving me a 4-star feeling, but at the same time I don't see why it's not a 5-star. I think it's gonna end up being a 5-star. It's so good. So I kind of give you guys a bit of the premise, but I didn't know the full premise. It is on the synopsis though, so I'm not spoiling anything. But essentially at the very, very beginning, Jolene is getting called into her boss's office with HR because she has been, or I guess they don't know this, but she got caught doing this. So whenever she would write an email to anybody, at the very bottom she would write exactly how she really feels about them, talking mad shit, but she would put it in white so that way you couldn't read it. And one time she accidentally forgot to do that, sent it to a coworker that already they were already beefing, and the coworker turned her into the boss, and the boss has HR there, and they're you can't do this. Obviously they only know the one instance, So she now has to take like a mandatory class with HR on harassment, and she already like feels low. She's going through so much. I feel like she's such a great depiction of anxiety and depression, and even a little bit of like alcoholism, so I guess addiction. But she's like already going through it. So this is just kind of like another like, oh my god. So she does this like harassment course, and IT has to like install something in her computer. I don't remember like really remember what it was like initially for, but essentially what happens is IT messes up and makes it so she has like full admin privileges. She can read everyone's emails, everyone's Teams chats, everything. And so for someone like me who's like super nosy, I'm eating it up. It's so interesting to see the way these people are talking about her, about each other, to people outside, like personal relationships. And she's using this information to sort of better her position at her job, because she knows if she doesn't pass this HR harassment course, she's gonna get fired. There's layoffs coming. So she's kind of using this to manipulate her coworkers, but like not in a bad way, almost like in a way that like she's coming across better, because she like kept to herself. She didn't talk to anybody. So she like realized that one certain cube mate she has doesn't like her because she doesn't talk to her. So Jolene starts just like talking to her more and putting herself out there more. So like the things that she's doing to like manipulate them aren't in necessarily like bad ways. I mean, I guess some of them could be, some of them are, and that's part of the context. But she also gets close to the HR guy. He's a new HR guy, and I'm really liking their relationship. But yeah, I'm just like, I'm loving this. There's so many like interwoven relationships throughout this, and at the very beginning Jolene has none of these relationships. So I'm just like, I'm just vibing with it. I'm really vibing with it. I'm on page 248. There's only like 330 pages. I definitely feel like I'm going to be able to finish this tonight. And like I said, there's no way, like there's nothing that's making me feel like I need to knock it down from a 5-star. Like I was saying, like, oh, it's the 4-star, but like why not a 5-star? Because it's giving me that 5-star vibe, and I'm really liking it. I just knew I would. I just knew like the nosy person in me would just absolutely love this. And yeah, I'm really liking this. I'm really liking this. So like I said, I'll finish it tonight and I'll give you guys an update, but this might be my last 5-star of the year because I'm really loving this. So just wanted to give you that update. All right, it's been a day. I finished this book last night. I hope this finds you well. Easily a 5-star. Like I said in the last update, there was no need for me to knock it down a star. I had no excuse. Like it was gonna be a 5-star. I really enjoyed this. Like I said, I think all of the updates I have to give are essentially going to be the same, but because I'm a nosy person, I really enjoyed being able to look into other people's lives, and you really get to see that not everything is as it appears. Like everyone is going through something, and I feel like a lot of people mask it well, and it's good to be able to see that. And I think Jolene's character arc was really well done in this book. I felt like this was like a little cringy, but also just like cute and fun, and I don't know, I feel like it very office culture-y, and I just had a great time with it, honestly. So I gave it a 5 stars, and yeah, I'm not disappointed that this did not win the literary fiction category. What did? Look up what won the lit fic category, because I feel like I know in my brain, but also it was just fiction, not literary fiction, sorry. The Wedding People won the fiction category, which I am interested in, might pick up from Book of the Month, not sure. I don't think this would have won, but I do think more people need to read this because it was really good. And now we are moving on to the romance category. Again, a book that did not win this category. What did win? Emily Henry's Funny Story won. I will not be reading Funny Story until it comes out in paperback, so probably not till the summer, because all of my Emily Henrys are in paperback, and I just can't. So I'm always a year behind. But I've had this for a little bit now. This is The Love of My Afterlife by Kirsty Greenwood. I got this from Book of the Month when it was like first an add-on, because I thought the synopsis of this sounded just kind of like right up my alley as far as a romance goes. And it gives me kind of like light Beetlejuice vibes, which y'all know. So this girl, Delphi, dies, and she goes to like a waiting room in death's door in heaven, I'm not sure, and she meets this dude that is like her soulmate while she's waiting for whatever, I don't know, the afterlife. But then someone comes running out and is like, we've made a mistake, we've made a mistake, and the guy goes back to Earth, and she has like a certain amount of time to like, she gets to also go back to Earth, and she has a certain amount of time to find him again. I don't know. The cover of this is gorgeous though, and I think the premise is hysterical, and I haven't like really read a romance in such a long time, so I'm probably going to enjoy it because that's how it is with me. Like I could go months without reading a romance, and then the first romance I read again, I'm like, I love it, and it could probably be super mediocre, but I'm excited. Like I said, it was a part of the GoodReads Choice Awards, so we'll give it a go. And honestly, the text is huge, and I feel like I can get through this really quickly, so I'm gonna be starting The Love of My Afterlife next. Alrighty, I'm here with an update for The Love of My Afterlife. I obviously took this off. I'm almost 50% of the way through. Here is my spot, chapter 23, page 170. My goal is to finish this book. So today is December 29th. I would love for this to be my last book of 2024. That put me at 71 books for the year, which is amazing because I read 70 books in 2023. So that means I need to read a good chunk of this the next few days. But I'm really liking it so far. Okay, so I had like more thoughts I wanted to share with you guys earlier today, and I was like more excited about it earlier today, and I'm in such like a slumpy mood right now just because it's been such a long day. I've had a very long day at work. I came home, we're doing the night routine right now and with the kids, and it's just like dragging. So my energy and my top speed is not as great as it would have been. However, I am enjoying this. We are following Jolene. Jolene dies. She chokes on a burger, she dies, she goes to this like afterlife place called Evermore. She meets with her like afterlife therapist and kind of just like goes over, she gets to watch like a video of her life, you know, like those quick spiel reels, whatever. And she's like, wow, my life was depressing. I learned a lot of things about how her life and how she was bullied by like her ex-best friend and her best friend's boyfriend, and through high school, and she's always been kind of a loner ever since, and she has like family problems and things like that. And while she's there, when she's there for 2 hours. The 2 hour span that she's there, another person pops in that dies, and he and her instantly have this like connection. His name is Jonah. Instant connection. And this therapist is like, oh, I think he's your soulmate. And this whole thing conspires where like she's like, oh, we've made a mistake. He was at the dentist, he was put under sedation, and he wasn't supposed to die, so he'll forget this entire interaction, he'll go back to life. And she tells Jolene, you can potentially get this opportunity to come back to life and to have never died. I'll send you back to Earth. You have 10 days to find Jonah and have him kiss you. He doesn't know who you are. He won't remember this interaction. So she comes back. She didn't die. And she's currently on the search for Jonah. And in this search for Jonah, I think we're seeing the whole, I feel like I've seen this in a movie before, you know? We're seeing the whole process of her finding herself. So she has to kind of go out of her comfort zone in order to find him, and in doing so she's meeting more people. She's meeting more people, well, not meeting, but I guess like hanging around more with the people in her apartment building. She's meeting new friends, and she's kind of discovering herself along the way, which I think is like such a movie thing, and I'm really enjoying it. I have a couple of theories right now about how this is going to end, and if it ends the way one of my theories is, I swear I'm going to kick my feet and giggle like a little girl, because I like kind of want it to go this way. And I can't tell you what my theory is because I think it would completely spoil the reading experience for you. But I like Jolene. I like that she's finding herself. I like that we're going all over London. We're trying to find Jonah, and he's everywhere. Like, this man does all sorts of crazy stuff, and every time she goes to wherever he's supposed to be, he has vanished like 5 seconds before. So like, I don't know, she's getting to go to new places and explore new things. And like I said, I definitely see it going a certain way, and I hope that's how it ends. I think that would be really, really cute. But I'm still happy. It's not giving me like Well, I don't know. I think if it goes the way I want it to go, it might be another 5-star, which is crazy to have 2 5-stars in the same reading vlog. But hey, they were in the Goodreads choice for a reason, and I'm really liking it. And if it doesn't go that way, I think it'll be a 4, but we'll see how it ends, you know what I mean? But so far, I'm having a good time. I would love to read another like 100 pages tonight, and then maybe, yeah, another 100 after that. It's my last book of 2024, and I think it's gonna be a good one, y'all. I cannot wait to update you more. Okay, so it is New Year's Eve. It is 9 o'clock at night, and people are shooting off fireworks. So if you hear any random pows, it's all good in this neighborhood. I finished The Love of My Afterlife last night. It was my final book of 2024 because there is absolutely no way I'm going to be able to start and finish this book tonight. Actually, maybe, because I am trying to stay up till midnight and it is only 9 o'clock. But we'll see. We'll get to that. But this was a 5-star. I predicted it. It's so... I was like giggling and kicking my feet at the end. My theory that I had did come true, and I was so happy. And also there was like this random twist, not random, but there was like this twist at the end that I just completely was not expecting, and I really loved that as well. Sorry, you're in my bookcase right now. I really liked this. I thought it was just really cutesy and fun and vibey, and just like, I mean, it felt like I was watching a rom-com. Like, this could easily be made into a movie. I really enjoyed this. 5 stars. And my final book of the year is 5 stars too, which is just literal chef's kiss. And oh my gosh, we're only 2 books into this vlog. 2 5 stars. Can you believe it? The other book's right here. Because I freaking sure cannot. So I'm so happy to have finished this. But now that I've read 2 kind of like whimsy fun books, I think it's time we move into the horror category. I've had my eye on this book for forever, and everyone that I know that has read this has given it 5 stars. So I do have it kind of hyped up in my mind, and I'm really, 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 really hoping that it's good. It is We Used to Live Here. This is by Marcus, oh gosh, Clearer? Anyway, Marcus K. It's a really short thriller horror. It was in the horror category for the Goodreads Choice Awards. I think it came in 2nd place. Every single person has given this like a 5-star that I know, that I follow. And so I'm nervous because I feel like I'm going to really like it. This cover is everything. I know it's already being made, in like it's already getting adapted into a movie, I believe. I just hope it's so good. It has quotes on the back from Nick Cutter, and oh, Matt and Harrison Query, they wrote that one horror book that I really liked, Old Country. Speaking of horror books, if you haven't read this one, that's a pretty solid pick. But they quoted it on the back. I know you're not really like, I don't want to read the synopsis. I just know people show up at a house and say we used to live here, and then things happen, and I'm really excited to get into it. So I'm gonna start right now. Like I said, it's 9 o'clock at night and I'm trying to stay up till midnight for New Year's. So this book is fairly short. It's a little over 300 pages. Will I finish it tonight? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say no, because I'm tired and I'm ready for bed already, but I want to stay up. But I can't wait. And if this is my first 5-star of 2025, it would be amazing. Hi, it's been a couple of days. I finished We Used to Live Here. It was such a quick read for me. So New Year's Eve, I read about 40%, and then last night, which was January 1st, I finished it. I read like the last 200 pages. I gave this a 4-star initially, and I think I'm gonna stick with that rating, but it does have the potential to be a 5-star. I just felt as though I was so confused at points that a 4-star felt good for this book. But then afterwards, I went down like a Reddit rabbit hole, and all of the theories made me want to give it a 5-star. So that, I think, is on me. But I'm going to stick with my 4-star. And I will say that I'm just going to give you a brief synopsis, because even just a small inkling of the synopsis is like the tip of the iceberg. There is so much that happens in this book that I just, even from watching others' videos, I was like, where is this coming from? This was really, really great. So the overall situation going on in this book is that you're following Eve, who just moved into this house with her partner, and she's there one night and there's a knock on the door, and this family, it's a dad, a mom, 3 kids. The dad's like, hey, I grew up in this house, we're in the area, I would love to show my family the house that I grew up in. And Eve's like, every part of her is like, no, 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 but she does it anyway. And so that's it. They come into the house and do the tour, and then they end up getting snowed in, so they have to kind of stay there, and it just becomes like a fever dream. Like, it's just so much happens in this book, and the ending is so weird that it was just like, that's why I went on to Reddit, because I needed to know everybody's theories, and now I have like a theory based on what I've read, because I'm like, oh, that actually makes sense. I've also heard that there might be more books made in this like universe situation, which I would love. This was really great. This was a really great pick. I can see why it came in second in the horror category. I do need to read The Eyes of the Best Part. I always reach for it, or like add it to the cart, but then I take it out. Even when we were at Barnes & Noble, I saw the last one and I like picked it up, looked at it, and was like, I don't know, I just need to buy it because I think I'd like it too. But yeah, this was just, it was so good. I think it was crazy, and it was scary. There were definitely parts of this book that I like was genuinely scared by. There's like a basement scene, an attic scene, a motel scene, just so many different scenes that I was like, I hate this, but I love it. So I did enjoy this, and I'm very, very glad I read it. Finally, for the last book in this reading vlog, we are going into YA. I tend to like a good YA book. I really do. I have a good time. They're super fun, easy to read, and we're gonna stick with one of my favorite YA authors, which is Lynn Painter. This one did not win the YA category, but this is Betting on You by Lynn Painter. I love these freaking covers. They always look so cute on my bookshelf. I have read 2 other books by Lynn Painter. I have read Better Than the Movies, which 5 stars. If you've not read that book, you're missing out. And The Do-Over, which is a really cute Valentine's Day kind of book. So if you're, it's like a time loop on Valentine's Day. So if you're looking for a book for Valentine's Day, The Do-Over, great. Betting on You, I'm really excited. About Bailey and Charlie, we'll figure it out. This is the biggest book in all of them that I've read so far. This one is like 400 some pages, but I'm really excited to read it. So let's dive in. So I finished Betting on You last night by Lynn Painter, and I am happy to say that it is a 4 star. So out of this vlog, I've had 2 5 stars and 2 4 stars. Clearly the Goodreads Choice Awards is on to something. I really liked this. This was the longest Lynn Painter that I've read. Of her YA romances, I read Better Than the Movies, which I gave a 5 star. That was around like 300 and some pages. And then The Do-Over, which I think I gave either a 4 or 5 star as well, and that was like roughly 300 pages. This one was like 400 plus pages. This was a big, long, chunky romance, and I think that's the only reason that I knocked it down a star, because like it felt so high school. It felt so YA. It was so cute, and I loved Charlie and Bailey, our main characters, which, by the way, this is about Charlie and Bailey, if I didn't even tell you. I don't even think I updated you at all throughout this book. We're following from both perspectives, which I really like. Charlie's chapters are pretty short, but Bailey's are like where the meat and potatoes is of the story. But basically they meet like 3 years ago on an airplane, and they really hate each other. They're both children of divorce, so they're both coming back from like their dads to their moms, and they both kind of bond over that, but they still don't really like each other. They see each other a couple of years later and then are like not really vibing still, and then they finally meet back up a year later, where they end up working together at this same place that I like to think of. It's called Planet Fun. It's kind of what I like to think is like an amusement park that has like a hotel attached to it. But they quickly become co-workers, as Charlie says, but friends. And you kind of get to watch their relationship develop. There's a little bit of fake dating, there's like a one bed trope, there is a bet being made, there's lots of bets being made, but it is a really good time to kind of see from Bailey's perspective, kind of coming to terms with her parents' divorce, coming to terms with her mom, redating, and then meeting Charlie. And I really liked it. It was really cute. Again, it's a YA romance, so it feels very high school, but if you need something just kind of like light and cute and fluffy, this is definitely the read for you. And with that, that completes all 4 books for my Goodreads Choice Awards video. 2 5-stars and a 4-star, or 2 5-stars and 2 4-stars. Incredible. I'm so stoked about it. I definitely need to do this every year because like I was just so happy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading vlog. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye guys.